Many people know about this mineral in the context of improving the immune system, reducing prolactin, and supporting testosterone production. But not many people are familiar with its effects on supporting DHT production. So this particular study is going to blow your mind. Well, it did for me at least, because I always thought that high dosages actually inhibit DHT production, but that is not true according to this particular study. Now, I do want to emphasize that this video is all about maxing out DHT production. Some of you know that I'm a big fan of supporting DHT. And so you're probably wondering, why am I so interested in supporting DHT production? Well, DHT is incredibly important because it's a lot stronger than testosterone, right? So picture DHT as testosterone's older brother. It's more wise, more powerful, more confident older brother to testosterone. Now it's 3 to 10 times more androgenic than testosterone itself. And it's absolutely crucial for libido and erections. It's really important for muscle density, motivation, and masculine brain wiring. What I mean by this is that DHT encourages confidence. It supports GABA tone, which keeps you calm and collected. And in fact, if we look at guys that have low DHT, oftentimes they'll complain of a flat mood, they'll complain of low sex drive, they'll have a weak training response, they just don't feel their absolute best. So really what I want to point out here is that most guys are actually deficient in DHT, right? Because we're flooded by an influx of endocrine disruptors, plastic, seed oils, canola oil. A lot of these things in our environment actually tank our DHT. Now, in addition to that, many guys are actually walking around with high SHBG, which is rendering our DHT inert or inactive, which is a big problem. In addition to that, a lot of guys are also either overtraining or under eating or under recovering, and this can compromise both testosterone and DHT. So this is why it's incredibly important. So the mineral that I'm referring to in today's video is zinc. Now, zinc deficiency is a hidden root cause of low DHT, and it's an essential cofactor for 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme that actually converts testosterone into DHT. Or some people or some guys are using supplements and medications that actually lower DHT production. So they might be taking finasteride, other saw palmetto, maybe green tea extract, lion's mane. There are many different supplements that actually tank DHT production. And this is why low DHT is such a big problem. So I want to point out the particular study that I found and sort of thought it was quite interesting. So this study here was titled Effective Zinc Administration on Plasma Testosterone, Dihydrotestosterone, and Sperm Count. So this was a pretty old study, I must admit, and it was using 37 infertile men studied at dosages of zinc sulfate at 660 milligrams per day. And then this was adjusted to 240 milligrams per day. And they measured before and after testosterone, DHT, and sperm count. What they found absolutely blew me away. Group number 1, the low testosterone group, testosterone levels increased significantly. This was in those that had low testosterone. Taking zinc increased testosterone significantly. And they also found that it boosted DHT dramatically as well. They also found that sperm count raised significantly as well. So 9 wives became pregnant during or after zinc therapy. So zinc here didn't just support hormones, it actually restored functioning. Now, group 2 results, where they had normal testosterone levels, there was no change in their testosterone levels, but there was a significant increase in DHT levels. Sperm count, there was no change. So even with normal testosterone, zinc pushed DHT even higher, proving its direct role in DHT synthesis. So you're probably wondering now how zinc actually mechanically or mechanistically increases DHT in the body. Now, it increases 5-alpha reductase activity, testosterone to DHT conversion. It's concentrated in the prostate, testes, and seminal fluid. It supports DNA or RNA transcription in androgen-responsive tissues, and its deficiency equals a reduced testicular functioning and impaired DHT conversions. But I do want to point out some cautions here. This particular study used a very high dosage of zinc sulfate, 660 milligrams, which contains approximately 150 milligrams of elemental zinc. So zinc sulfate monohydrate is about 23% elemental zinc. And so 660 multiplied by 0.23 gives us around 150 milligrams of elemental zinc. So that's a very high dosage. Be careful, guys. Typical upper limit for long-term usage is around 40 milligrams a day of elemental zinc, unless used in short-term guidance, as excess zinc can actually deplete copper and also impair the immune system and affect our gut, and can also lower iron levels. So really what I want to emphasize here is that yes, this study showed that high dosages of zinc can boost DHT production. However, this is not a long-term solution. There are other ways to boost DHT to an even greater level that are much safer than using zinc. So this is more of an experimental sort of case study here. I wouldn't say this is strong evidence, but I do want to point out that yes, it might give you an initial boost in DHT, maybe for a couple of weeks, but then you need to look into other methods and modalities. And if you really want to know my favorite testosterone and DHT boosting methods, head over to www.trtfree.com. That is my full protocol to maximize your testosterone and also your DHT levels. So definitely check that out, guys, if you want to support your DHT levels. If you did find this video interesting or you have any thoughts about it, have you taken zinc and noticed a benefit, or do you respond negatively to zinc? Drop a comment down below. Let's get a discussion going.